Hello, everyone. Okay, I just want to quickly discuss on the issue of the genocide, the killing in the north. Now, let me say this, because some people began to say that, oh, other ministers or men of God in the West are not actually, supporting the man, the Reverend Ezekiel, who is crying out for help. Now, let me say this. When God wants to promote and honor a man, he does his thing himself and takes the glory. They've been killing in the north. In fact, every northern part of any part of the world that you find Christians, they are going through hell. They are going through killings. Any part of the world. But you know what is happening in Nigeria is genocide. All right. But you'll find out that every Christian in any northern part of any part of the world are going through hell. Now, this reverend, there are other ministers of the gospel that has been killed, that has been slaughtered, that has been killed, slaughtered, But God wants to use this man to showcase his glory and honor him. Now, if you look at a couple of his videos, he has been going to burials and all that, screaming. God just want to honor his name through that man. That does not mean that the men or the men of God in the West are not going through their own challenges. It might not just be killings or what have you, but they also pay their price and they're still paying price. So because this man is on ground now, is the celebrity minister of the gospel, a general, all right, that does not mean that other generals are not useful to the kingdom. God is not man. He doesn't think the way you think, all right? What you're saying is not what he's saying. A man has been honored, a man has been celebrated for what he's been doing for the kingdom in that northern part of the world. There are other men of God doing stuffs in other parts of the world, all right? And I appreciate what God have done with him and what he's doing. One of the joy I have is the fact that he has to take all the blood in his head and pour to one Omokri, guy who was saying that there's no genocide going on. The guy has to, the minister had to transfer all the blood he has seen and all this, to the guy's life. And I think it's good like that. So let's go ahead to let me say this to you. Because one man of God is being celebrated by all does not mean other men of God is not celebrating them. What you see this man, there are a lot of ministers who have been killed. There are ministers bigger than him that have been killed, all right, by this same, Boko Haram or X-Men. They've been killed. The other Christians that have been killed, nobody knew about it in the same north. Do you understand? And every minister that came from the north, those in the West know they are going through stuff. We all know they're going through stuff. Every minister that comes from the north goes through stuff, preaching the gospel there. So I want us to understand that we are one in this journey. God is going to win the battle. The battle has been won, and we're going to have victory at the end. Well, thank God for Reverend Ezekiel and what God has done through him, what God is doing, and what God is doing with other men of God, around the world. God bless you. Shalom.